Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. We are here today for Tuesdays with DX Engineering. This is a show where we talk to DX Engineering employees about things that are going on in the best hobby in the world. And today we're going to talk about portable operations and parks on the air. Whether you're an activator or a chaser, we've got the expert here from DX Engineering, one of many experts that we have. It's Troy, AC8OW. Hello, Troy.
Hello, Tim, and everybody on Facebook.
I'm very excited about this show today because we're going to learn about what's in the mind of a lot of product development, new products that DX Engineering's working on, as well as some of our key vendors. Troy, what do you have for us today?
So, Tim, for so many years, at the beginning of Parks on the Air, people just took the radio, they took the tuner, all of the equipment that they had in their shack, threw it in the back of their car, and took it out to a park somewhere. And it worked well, sometimes, and sometimes there were some things that occurred. And so what we decided to do, there are a few of us kind of just decided to totally rethink everything that we use in a QSO, whether it's our radio, our antenna tuner, a duplexer for using a multi-band radio, all those things. How do we make it smaller, make it lighter, but yet keep the quality and the performance that people demand from DX Engineering? So what we've done, some of the things that we're working on right now, we're working on some resonant antennas. For so long, we've lived with non-resonant compromised antennas for POTA and for portable operations. We've decided to begin working on some resonant antennas that will perform very well on a specific band. Now, you can't go band hopping with a lot of them easily, but pick where you want to operate and operate very well in that one place. The old saying is, bloom where you're planted. So we are working on some lightweight packable antennas, some chokes, some balunds that you can build your own wire antennas with. We're looking at portable masts that can easily be deployed. If you don't have trees around, all kinds of things. Just looking at the whole aspect of everything that we use in a QSO and what we need, and then how do we make that fit into a backpack? We're even looking at some very rugged but lightweight backpacks just for DX Engineering POTA operations.
So, when it comes to resonant antennas, and I want to talk about that because this is a real opportunity when you're talking resonant antennas, Troy, for the portable stations, parks on the air stations, the activators, to get stronger and be more reliable in their communication. And what about the focus of 40 and 20 meters, where a lot of the parks on the air activations are, right?
Right. And so that's kind of where we're focusing, is on those two bands, 40 and 20 to begin with. But we're also looking at a linked dipole to where you can take that 40 meter or 20 meter dipole and you can add sections to it to get different bands, but they'll be pre-tuned for those different bands. Looking at the fact that a lot of POTA operators work QRP. And as you know, if power reduces, that antenna's got to be even that much more effective. And so how do we create a low power, high output antenna is kind of what we're trying to achieve here. And the only way to do that is to make it truly tuned to a specific band.
Right. But do it in such a fashion that it's really, really efficient. And Troy, let me know when you see my screen.
There it is.
There it is. All right. So this is, I think, the building block that you're talking about, right?
Right.
The low power dipole kits the DXE-DWK. This is an incredible price for and explain what they get for $9.99, Troy.
So for $9.99, you're getting that center winder. The two rulers that you see there, those serve as your end insulators, and then a solder-on VNC connector. The customer in this kit supplies the wire, and you just basically cut the wire to the length that you need for the band that you want to operate.
And so on the end insulators, these are the end insulators, right, Troy?
Correct.
So you have the dipole length calculation, 468 divided by frequency. And so, and I really like this that's on here. Lengthen wire for lower frequency, shorten the wire for higher in frequency. And, you know, there's also S meter readings, typical, you know, minus 73. But, you know, the idea in Ohm's law, but the idea is to have tools that are very inexpensive. And how about a club project to build wire antennas, Troy?
So, right. And you can purchase these in packs of 25, I think it is. I know our club over at Seneca Radio Club, we did an antenna building exercise one Saturday. We have an event that we do once a month we call it ham salad. And you just kind of show up and see what the project of the day is. And one day we did an antenna building with these. So that was good. NVIS Day is coming up April 26th. That would be a great project to have at your NVIS Day, where everybody builds their own dipole on the band that they want to operate on, and to see who can make some contacts on the antenna they built.
And that's NVIS Day in Ohio, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
All right, but I'm thinking that there are other states that will probably either are doing it or will plan on doing it. But let's talk about NVIS and what's the focus around NVIS and why would somebody want to do that?
So NVIS, which is near vertical incident skywave, is a huge tool that we use in emergency communications. The thinking is that rather than trying to bounce your signal off the ionosphere with a low angle of takeoff and get as far as you can, you're trying to get very strong coverage within about 300 miles or thereabouts. And one of the best ways to do that is with a wire antenna fairly low to the ground, 15, 20 feet off the ground or less. And the whole idea is the way that I talk about NVIS communication is kind of like holding a garden hose and shooting it straight up in the air. You're going to get that little umbrella of water around you, and that's what you want your signal to do in NVIS, because you're in an emergency communication situation. You're basically trying to talk to your state's emergency operations center. Depending on the severity of the injury incident, you may be talking to operation centers in the surrounding states, but this is not something where you're trying to DX. You're just trying to get messages to the people who need the information close by.
So, and if I put in NVIS on our DX Engineering website, I get back 26 results, and all the way from a full turnkey kit that has a fiberglass mast to basic building coils and kits to put together. Bushcom has an NVIS kit, as well as the instruction manual for NVIS. You can either you can download it for free, or you can get it printed for $7.99. But lots of good NVIS ideas are on our website.
Right, and again, the idea here is mostly from your emergency communications, but you can take that same antenna, and if you can get it up at 30 or 40 feet, the higher up the antenna is, the wider area you're going to cover. I have all wire antennas currently, here at my shack, and I've got almost 200 countries worked on and fed wires. So they can be used for DX. You just have to, it's all in how you set them up and deploy them.
And I would think that, you can also go to our blog on all bands and get information on NVIS, right?
Yes. I know there have been several articles written. I wrote one shortly after I started working here.
So, this is always a great place to go. Where Troy, you've written articles. Do you see the on all bands now?
There it is. Yes.
Yeah. So onallbands.com, lots of information on building antennas, NVIS and other antennas, as well as you've participated a lot with emergency communications, which goes right into NVIS.
Exactly. And that's why Ohio has created the NVIS Day, just to help different counties get out there and be able to put their antennas together. And that's one of the main reasons I use it, is just as a team building exercise for our areas group, to build a couple of antennas, and then let's see how many other counties we can contact. It's a good time. Plus, then we know that if we get deployed to someplace that other than our EOC, we can put an antenna up and have good, solid communications.
Well, and it's really helpful to do this ahead of time and to test these things out, right, Troy? Before you absolutely have an emergency situation.
Oh, exactly. You don't wait and until you need to mow the lawn to see if the blades are sharp on the tractor. You always do these things ahead of time. You spend time, putting your equipment together. That's why, in my mind, field day and POTA, if you're really into emergency communications and you want to serve your served agency well, you've got to be out there. POTA allows me to set up my portable equipment on a weekly basis throughout the summer months, and so I know no matter what happens, I'm good to go.
And we know that the weather here in the northern hemisphere is getting better, as we're going to have 70 plus degrees tomorrow. Let's take a look in the chat room, Troy. We've got X-Ray Echo 2 Zulu Zulu on from Mexico. Mike 0 Delta Sierra Kilo on from England. It's November Juliet 4 Zulu. John down in South Carolina. John says, I just got my DX Engineering RG11 bulk cable for my 2-element array testing. Thankful for fast shipping. How about that shipping? How fast? I mean, it's incredible, right, Troy?
Customers are always amazed at how fast they can get it. I know here in Ohio and Western Pennsylvania, if you order today, you'll likely see it tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's just ground shipping. And if your order's over $99, most of the time it's going to ship for free.
Going to be free.
Our friend Gary, W9 X-Ray Tango, he's started doing Parks on the Air activations last summer. He's having a blast. DXE needs to come out with something like the MAT 50 grounding, but much larger for lower band operation. Gary, we're taking note of that, and we'll try to see what we can do there. And Jeff, November 3 Juliet Delta, I love my Trans World antenna for Parks on the Air. That, you can get that Trans World antenna set up in about 3 minutes, Troy.
It is. I've played with that a little bit. I spent a long time on the phone yesterday with a customer who was ordering a TW antenna, and we got him set up with the 5-band kit and then an 80-meter add-on. And we talked a lot about setting it up, and he was just amazed at how simple, at least, that it looked. And I assured him that it was that easy.
Yeah, and there's hundreds of these things, well, thousands of them now. Because the TW antenna has been around a long time, easy to set up, easy to get on the air, great for portable operations, Parks on the Air. And Troy, one of the best things is you don't have to worry about HOAs when you're doing this.
That's right. You actually get out completely out of the HOA area, and you go to a park, you set up and enjoy the scenery, and it's just get a little exercise if you like when you're done. I know my wife and I do that. We'll go and hike the park for a little bit, and then she goes off and takes pictures, and I'll operate radio, and then we go usually find something to eat after that.
That sounds great. And back in the chat room, Clay is on November 9, India Oscar. I've only worked a few activations last couple of years, but I'm interested in going out to the parks here in Illinois. And so, there's a lot of interest here. And you're going to hear lots more products aimed at making your parks on the air and portable operations more efficient. And we'll be introducing new products at Hamvention here in about 8 weeks. It's coming soon. So
we hope to have a lot of these ready to go for Hamvention.
Yep. Troy, thanks so much for coming on today. Thanks so much for all you do here at DX Engineering, along with the rest of the team. And we're looking forward to Hamvention and more products. And we're going to have you on the show again. It's always great to see you, Troy.
Thanks, Tim. I love being here and helping our customers.
All righty. And thanks to all of you for watching today. We hope you had fun. We'll see you next time here at DX Engineering. Until then, 73.